Hey guys, welcome back to Dueling Destination. I know it's been a while since I updated any deck profiles. I have been testing a few decks, but I really want to make them competitive and very comfortable to play with. Sometimes people make deck profiles and they honestly don't believe in what they're building, but I really want to put a lot of work in what I'm doing here and effort. So this is a new deck I'll be working on. I also have like two more decks I'll be working on, and it should be uploaded sometime this weekend or next week. So guys, this is volume 1. As you guys know, we always do a volume 1 on every deck profile. I will try to make it better each and every time. So remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Help me get to that 200 subscriber, and let's see if we can make Spyrals a tier 1 deck. So remember, leave your comments down below on how I can improve this deck, and I'll try to get all the cards and even test it out online and see if I can do some recording and some playing online, guys. But let's jump straight into it. So this is my build that I feel comfortable playing. It does have some flaws and I definitely need to be working on it so that I can make it even better. But let's go straight into it. As you guys know, we gotta start off with triple copies Spyral Super Agent. This is the main reason deck is really good. Well, double helix actually, but Super Agent is your starter card that you'd always want to see because this guy actually can get rid of back row and give you information on your opponent's deck on what they're playing. This deck that I built, it's a more aggressive build. It's like a going second build because a lot of people like going first and building unbreakable boards, as they say, and build so many negates. But with Spyrals, you get to beat out a lot of negates, which to me makes the game a bit more fun trying to break boards. And with Spyrals, I can actually clear a lot of boards. But this deck can also build some amazing boards, having Appaloosa and Boral Sword Dragon, or depending on which link 4 you choose to use. I'm using 2 Spyral Tough because Tough is just another super agent, and it is your normal summon that you commit to this guy, but he gives you information also that you might need, and he can remove cards on the field. So it depends on what your opponent's gonna want to stop at which point in the game, so it's all up to them at that point. So for a 1-off Spyral, we gotta play Quick Fix because it is at 1. If Quick Fix comes back at 2, it's gonna be pretty broken for Spyrals. Then we have Drones. Drone is one of your main normal summons that you'd want to see. This gives you a lot of information. Quick Fix just gets the cards that you need in hand. It's an additional monster. It's just pretty broken. And we have Spyral Sleeper, being one of the boss monsters in the deck that a lot of people forgot that he's really good. Spyral Sleeper can just break boards. 2 cards each turn, and with the last resort on it and with the Spyral's field spell card, it's very tough to get over this card. So I'm using 1 of each copies because I don't want to draw into multiple, and well, these guys are at 1 at the moment. I'm also using 2 copies of Last Resort because I can search him out, but sometimes this card is just good in hand. Also, as a normal summon, I can use him and his effects really good. I'm also using Oni, the main guy, Spyral Master Plan, well, the main girl. Master Plan is one of the reasons this deck is really good in making link boards because of the recursion you get from Master Plan and the trap card. With that effect, and considering that we have that going for us, it makes a lot of boards that people really can't get over sometimes. People try to destroy this card and it just gives you pluses because we recycle the field spell card also. So for a bit more versatility, I'm also playing a small dark engine to be able to send Master Plan to the graveyard, and so I can use the effect pretty early in the game. I'm using 1 Grepher because it's always good, 1 Armageddon Knight, and just so that I don't waste any cards on or these effects, I'm also using 1 Blackwind Zephyrus the Elite because this guy can bounce back any card I need in hand to reactivate it later, and I've been working with it pretty good. It's a level 4 monster. It can be used to link summon, so it's been very good. And as you guys know, this deck would not be complete without using a danger package, but I don't have those expensive danger cards. Even though they get reprinted on Megatin, they're still a bit pricey for me. I'm gonna try to trade for them because I get most of my cards through trades. So that's how I've been working this whole deck, getting it through trades and purchasing cards but that are not too expensive. But for my danger package, I'm using the budget danger, Mothman, double copies, 2 copies of Thunderbird also because I got these guys when no one wanted them. I'm using 2 copies of Dogman and 1 Chupacabra. I think that's how you say name. So these are the cards I'm using at the moment. Oh, excuse me for the glare there. And these guys, I'm using them because when it comes to the case of Dogman and Thunderbird, they can be used for the Black Luster Soldier Link, and he's gonna gain the effect under a free special summon. And reducing my opponent's monsters by 1,000 is something people are gonna wanna negate because most monsters at the time they're like maybe 2,500 or something, and they go down to 15, and Thunderbird just clears a lot of back row. So I've been liking these cards, even though they're not like the best danger cards, they're still really good. And for the final roundoff are the monsters. This is, like I said, it's a going second deck, and I chose to use 2 copies of Nibiru, the rock. So this guy just clears up board. Even if I get to see him later on during my turn, if my opponent has been breaking my board apart, I can still summon him, and it's not gonna bother me as much that I'm gonna lose some monsters. But even if they get the big token, I can always get rid of the token later on too with Spyral Sleeper. I'm also using 2 copies of Ash Blossom as my hand trap. I don't want to put too many hand traps in here. It is a going second deck, but I can break a lot of boards with these decks. I might start bumping the hand trap, but I'm not too sure yet. I gotta test it out a bit more. So far it's been working great for me though. So with just 2 Ash Blossoms in there. Let's go into the spell cards. I'm using 1 copy of Spyral Resort. Well, actually 2 because of Terraforming. And 1 copy of Spyral Big Red. It's like your Monster Reborn there, and I really enjoy using this card because it's an extender, and with this deck I am able to extend a lot, and I like that. So I hope that we get the ban list soon, that Spyral Resort comes back to 2. That's going to be really great for this deck, and it's going to make it a very great contender. And as we were talking about Monster Reborn, we have to use 1 Monster Reborn because we're going to be using 1 reinforcements of the army because most of our deck are warrior monsters, and then we can search them out. And we're going to be using 1 for 1 because it's just broken with the other level 1 Spyral monsters, and this is like a must in the deck. Also, let's go into the extenders. Foolish Burial, because sometimes we do need to send cards to the graveyard, and this is a great extender. We have Foolish Burial of Goods. I decided just to use 1 of this guy because sometimes I just want to see the trap card in the graveyard right away, but I don't want to be breaking on the trap on this card a lot because you can search the trap card. So with 1, I believe it should be good. I'm also using 2 Call by the Grave. I might bump this up to a playset, but with 2 it's been working. This is a combo heavy deck, but 2 Call by the Grave is really good. I just gotta find space for the other copy, the last copy. And now for my final spell cards, I'm using 2 Twin Twisters because back row is a thing right now. There's a lot of going second decks that stall a lot, and well, if I have Twin Twisters in my main, I can actually get rid of those guys. So I'm using that. So let's go into the trap card. The trap cards are a very small lineup, and I have here triple copies of Spyral Mission Rescue. This is the best trap card in the game. This is the best trap card in the deck. This lets you extend a lot of plays, and the reason why Spirals are good too. And I'm also using 2 Infinite Impermanence because I'm trying to be as competitive as I can, and by using this card, it gives me a competitive edge that I can actually interact with my opponent, but not just clog into a lot of hand traps. Okay guys, so now let's go into the extra deck. Okay guys, now we're gonna go into the extra deck. The extra deck is something that you use a lot in this deck because you try to combo off a lot, but the power that is in this extra deck is amazing. There are going to be some changes that we're going to be making. So like I said, this is just volume 1 of the deck. We've been testing. It's been working great, but we definitely going to make some changes later on for volume 2. So I'm starting off with 1 Abyss Dweller because of the format that we have. It is very graveyard dependent, so I'm using 1 Dweller because I have a lot of level 4 monsters, and it makes it very easy for me to take this guy out And it stops a lot of plays, honestly. And I'm using one link Karibo because I can always use drones to go into link Karibo or quick fix switch. Sometimes it gives you the extender that you need. I'm using one Cerberus and one Phoenix for removal of nightmares, and they're some of the best nightmares out there. And I'm using one of the Cyframe Lord cards. This is really good also in this deck. I'm gonna show you guys later on why it's good. It's a going second deck, so I gotta use this going second cards later on too. I'm using triple copies of double helix. I'm not too sure if I need triple copies yet. I might cut them down to at least 2, but for now this has been working really good because I don't want to take them out, then later on I might need it. I'm using one of the Blackluster Soldier, one Nightmare Unicorn as some powerful monsters that I have. This guy is very important for the combos to spin back the last resort. And with the dangerous monsters, the high level ones, I can actually take this guy out very easily and have his effect apply. And I'm using for a lot of link 4s really. So I'm using Burload, Skull Dread, and Hivermax. These guys are underestimated and a lot of people forgot about them because of the new ones that came out, but I think these guys are still good. And just having them here, I can go into them a lot and really just turn the game over sometimes. And for the final cards, I'm using one Boreal Sword and one Appaloosa, both the Goddess. I finally got one of this and I got it all in trade, guys, so I didn't spend money on it. I just got trades and I was able to get that. So that's the extra deck. Very simple, straightforward. I'm trying to make it as competitive as I can. So let's go into the side deck. The side deck is something that is gonna change definitely because with the new October ban list coming up, there's gonna be a new format. But for now, I chose to go with triple copies of Cypher Gamma because this is a going second deck. And of course, we need that one driver on there. And in game 2, this is going to be important because my opponent might want me to go first. And if I can go into the Link Monster and just have these guys ready, it's not a dead draw. Or if I go second, I still have these guys ready. So for me, it works out really good as a very powerful hand trap. I have that one last copy of the Ash Blossom just in case I need it. And 2 copies of Artifact Lancer because Orcus is a thing. Thunder Dragons are a thing. So we need those guys in there. So I'm using 2 copies. For going second deck, I'm also using 2 copies of Prank Taps. This guy lets me get rid of cards that would always give me trouble. And it's a very powerful beat stick. So I'm using this guy. 2 copies of him. And also I decided to use 2 Spirit modes because combo is also still a thing and people combo off pendulums and so on, and you just need to sometimes break those boards with the God card. And definitely this is one of the best cards in the game. That's what they call it, God card. I'm using 2 copies of Evenly Matches. I've been enjoying just using Evenly Match. A lot of people forget about this, but going second, this is pretty good still. And one of the cards that I'm trying to get used to, I'm not too used to as yet, but I see the potential in this card also, is 2 copies of Dynamiscus. And just having this guy on the field, being able to remove some cards that giving me trouble also, makes it great, and feeding my graveyard because sometimes I do need cards in the graveyard. So guys, that was my deck profile. If you liked it, please like and share with your friend. Leave a comment down below how I can make this deck even better. And I read all your comments and I do try to play test as much as I can to make a better deck. Well guys, I'll see you next time and thank you.